Welcome back. The simple fact that you're here means that whether you agree or disagree with the principles and definitions used in this channel, you have sufficient curiosity, broad-mindedness, or perhaps even some resonance with the information presented. In the best case scenario, it induced you to study for yourself or gain some measure of self-reflection. Or perhaps you are simply here to critique the content. Regardless, I thank you for your time. So to begin with, my purpose here is not to delve into academic discussion using tried and true, or generally accepted might be a better term, for truth is a matter better left to better men or tunes than me, concepts and definitions, with adequate bibliography and citations to match. It is also not meant to be presented as an opinion piece. The opinions are those you, who grace us with your attention, generate and provide. It is meant as a purveyor of synthesis and practical applications of system characteristics in the pursuit of bettering our current economic conditions, and it is based on both study and the real-world experience of those who help aggregate the content we aim to provide. In that spirit, we hope you enjoy and have use for the tools we aim to provide. So on with today's show. If you had a chance to watch our previous video, link below, you may recall I presented the problem of obtaining capital as the major bar to success, and actual participation in the capitalist system as something more than someone else's resource. Yet perhaps, important factors missing in our previous discussion are the mechanisms of capital growth and the practical nature of wealth. The first thing we need to understand about capital growth is that it is never something generated by an individual. In general terms, with the efforts of a single individual, it is nigh on impossible to generate capital growth. But you say, there are several examples of self-made men and women, real cases of economic heroes. Surely modern billionaires fly in the face of your affirmation. Well, not really. In all those cases, the actual generation of resources occurs when those men and women started generation through the use of other means than their own selves to accrue gains, either workers, external services, financial institutions, or technological marvels that function independently from the individual's way referenced. It can never be otherwise. If a person invests in stocks, the stock market, the companies, the internet, the software, all work for the investor. The person is not actually generating. If you put your money in the bank ideally works for you. It is the bank generating. If you buy real estate, the property generates by the interaction of the market, by other people creating businesses around the property, even just by the population growth in your area, not by individual effort. Even creating content, books, videos, art, entertainment, apps depend on the media or brokers, platforms, or other people to generate resources for them. It is never just you making money. That is the crux of capitalism. The moment you realize that the only way to get what you want is to give up on the notion of doing on your own, you've taken the very first step. Step to what, you might ask? Well, to our second topic, which is the second key of success in the system, wealth. Wealth is not the fancy cars, luxury lifestyles, extravagant experiences, or suitcases filled with cash. Wealth is that which in practice or potential makes money independently of its owner. In accounting terms, wealth is the difference between your assets, what you have, and liabilities, what you have to pay for. By that simple concept, all you have to do to generate wealth is to ensure that your expenses are always lower than your income. The classic, live within your means. But the nature of life ensures that if you don't separate the wealth from you and have it produce returns independent from you, there will come a time when it will be used up. By you most likely, by others if you're unlucky. That was the ith of our previous practical definition of capital, and this take on wealth. There must be forces, human or otherwise, working independently from you, generating resources for you to be able to be a player in the system and not a piece. That is the real and practical reason you see successful businessmen, leaders of industry or finance never seem to accept that they have enough, to seem to be avatars of greed. And although there are a number who fit the bill, in the main, they just understand the fundamentals of the system. If resources do not grow, they are lost. To wit, and to close this session, I'll leave you with a few pointers and a short synopsis. By yourself, you cannot generate true capital. It is always necessary to have others, people, institutions, machines, or entities generate for you. To generate wealth, you need to reduce expense. It is always more important to reduce expenses than to increase income, because you have more control over expenses than income. But you will only have true wealth when the difference is generating more wealth independently of you. Understand that you depend on other actors for your success and act accordingly. Never rest on your laurels. So give us a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.